Hey everyone, welcome to again. I have been so busy lately, so I haven't really gotten time to produce or edit videos in a little bit. And that is going to continue because I'm in the final stages of writing the big boy paper for AutoJune, and then it'll be done. But something that I have to show you in the meantime is that there's more, as in I'm in a Conlang class and I've started making a second Conlang. It takes place in the same universe as AutoJune. It's called pḥ.ð.m, and it's a really interesting, mostly bilabial, triconsonantal root, fully synthetic system. It's really cool. I'm going to get to that. First I'm going to show you where it is. So here's the introduction section. All of this section here. See how it says 48 pages? That's how long it is. That's what I've been working on the past couple weeks. Nothing but non-stop writing the full entire history in detail of Elf-Won't-Casa-Nosha and the AutoJune language, transcribed and altered from the version that I wrote on my website when I was 11 years old. So it's a more advanced version, and it's really in-depth, and it's really good, but it's been absolutely taking up all my free time in my life. So I'm going to go and explain everything in details at some point, and basically give full narration of the entire history. But that's not happening right now. Right now I'm just here to show you this map right here. This is North America in the future during the era where it was before Elf-Won't was a nation. It was when the Prince Empire took control of the Fwanel Peninsula, which is down here. So AutoJune, that exists down here in the Fwanel Peninsula and this blue area, Delshun here, and a little bit in Joan, this area below it. But the second language that I'm making, pḥ.ð.m, takes place in this little yellow area up here. In this area it's called Firga. Yeah, so it takes place up in the Arctic area. It was part of the larger pḥ language family that existed in this world before. The orange areas are areas where smaller pḥ tribes still existed during 1375 AR, and it exists concurrently with the Elf-Won't timeline. However, it's a much smaller nation with only probably about 30,000 speakers or so in that world. It's very Arctic. Everything is kind of based on it being cold and snowy and isolated and such. It's a really cool language, and I'll show you some of the factors of it. So here's all the regular conjugations that I've made so far. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Yeah. So first of all, I conjugate adjectives in this, right? Meaning within every root, which I will show you. So these are the roots, right? Every root is either 2 or 3 consonants with these little dots in between, and that's where the information goes in as to whether it's a noun, a verb, what kind of noun, what kind of verb, what kind of adjective. All that goes into it. So those are their definitions as nouns, as verbs, and as adjectives, right? Snow makes to cover with snow, and the adjective is snowy, and so on. So it's pretty cool. I'm trying to make it so that you can fit a lot of dense content into it without it being totally unnatural looking, Here's all the conjugations. So the adjectives go on a scale from permanent, recent, long-term, or hypothetical in terms of how much time they've existed. And then the intensity is very, moderately, slightly, or not. And you have gemination in the consonants here, and these are all the various conjugation chunks that fit in that are original to each other. Am I frozen? I was frozen, but not anymore. Anyway, so then you have the nouns, which I have split into several cases. You have nominative, dative, instrumental, correlative, which I think is actually called causative, but I didn't think of the name when I wrote this piece of paper, meaning this thing happened because of this thing. Then you have affectational and non-affectational, which are just 2 types of accusative that I made. So non-affectational is just normal accusative. Affectational is accusative, but the thing being accused, the patient in the sentence, is having its physical state altered. And then you have genitive. And then the other branch of the conjugation, change the a to the to the ira, which is small plural, like apocal, between 2 and 4, and then big plural, normal plural, which is for groups of 4 or more. Then for verbs, there's no future tense, but there's present indicative, present perfect, present progressive, present subjunctive, present conditional, past indicative, past perfect, past progressive, past subjunctive, past conditional, and then first person singular, plural, second singular, second plural, third masculine, feminine, plural, and neutral. So those are all the conjugations that turn things into verbs. And then you have the pronouns, which just are, if it's an adjoined direct object, it'll just be on the end of the triconsonantal root system. It'll just be a, r, u, weem, im, ir, e. And then if it has to be connected to something else, it'll be fa, far, fu, fur, fim, fim, fear, and fi. And so in adjectives and nouns, the stress is on the first syllable of the word, so it'll be on the first vowel. If it's a verb, it's on the second one, and then if it's a pronoun, it's either a one-syllable word or it'll be on the second syllable also. Right? So pretty simple but not simple system right there. So there's the words again, and then here's some of the sentences. So we have which means the sky has not been snowy in a long time. There's the adjective right there, where it's the root for snowy is ba, and la. And then the negative is implied by the gemination happening in the second part here, and the and the e happening there. And then the long term is implied with the a right there. So ba means not snowy in a long time. I think that's pretty cool. Then you have purfa, fifa, purfa, which means I want to feel a very snowy feeling, hypothetically. Then you have waifa, which means father went to chop trees. Then you have paiva, which means the dark tree is being covered in some new ice. You have which means my mother talks to your mother. And then you have my favorite, which could be pretty poetic, and it's not in any subject, verb, object order. This one starts out with the instrumental case. So you have which means with the sunlight burning intensely and eternally, the permanently colorful shrubs grow. And I'm very proud of that. I think it's really cool. So, honestly, this language has a system. I think the system is probably cooler than AutoJune's system. But of course, I have way more content dedicated to AutoJune, so I'm going to keep on going with that. And I'm going to spend the next chunk of my life finishing that AutoJune paper, so I'm either going to miss another week of uploads, or I could edit a video that I did with my girlfriend where she tries to pronounce all the IPA symbols. We'll see what happens. Until then, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it. I am probably barely going to edit this video at all, except to cut out the chunks where I made mistakes and stuff. So we're going for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're 12% of the way there. Hell yeah. And alright everybody. Don't ask why I'm in a bathrobe. It's been a long week. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.